you. And do you want us to share screen or did
Yes,
you have, okay, great. Then I will
yes.
pull
So you
up.
can just start from your part of the presentation and upload that on your screen. You have control now. All right, I'm going to
What am
shut
I
off my
sharing
mic
now?
and let you start
Wait a
it
second,
now.
Jackie, what am I sharing now?
You're sharing your first page, your first screen.
Okay, the real view, not the notes view, right?
Correct.
Great. Okay, well, hello everybody. My name is Sylvie Sanaki. I'm the Senior Director for Strategy, Policy, and Equity at Dfss. And I'm very excited to talk to you about the procurement that we are doing at the Department of Family and Support Services. And I am joined by my colleague, Alpha. Alpha, would you briefly introduce yourself as well?
Sure. My name is Altha Riley, and I am the contract administrator for the Department of Family and Support Services. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Okay, what we're going to do today, let's make sure that I can change my screen. Okay, I hopefully advanced now to the agenda view. I can't tell precisely what I'm sharing, so someone
Yes,
let me
you're
know.
on agenda, Sylvie.
Great. What we're going to do is talk a little bit about what Dfss is. Then I'll cover two different types of procurement opportunities available through our department. And then we'll walk through some of the upcoming procurements and let you know how to stay in touch with us. And then we'll be happy to answer any questions that have come up during our presentation. So the Department of Family and Support Services is kind of the city's social service agency. Our mission is to connect Chicago residents and families to resources that build their stability, support their well-being, and empower them to thrive. And we are one of the largest social service funders in the city of Chicago, and we're putting about $415 million into community each year. And most of that funding is going out through contracts that we have with over 330 community-based organizations, primarily delegate agency contracts. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. We also have some direct services that we're offering, but I'm really going to focus today on the procurement-based work that we lead. We are providing services all across the city of Chicago. So just included this map to give you a snapshot of the real broad distribution of where we're located, who we're trying to reach. And so these are locations, not just of DFSS locations, but all of these contracted organizations that are delivering services for us. We are organized into these 8 different program divisions, and we really serve Chicagoans from cradle all the way through their life. So we have a children's services division that is really putting money out into community for providers of early childhood programming, such as Head Start and Preschool for All. We have a division on gender-based violence that has contracts with nonprofit organizations for programming like legal support for victims of gender-based violence and domestic violence, for counseling and case management, and for rapid rehousing for folks who have experienced domestic violence and gender-based violence. We have a homeless services division that has a bunch of contracts with nonprofit organizations to deliver shelter, homelessness prevention, and outreach, and some other housing supports. Our human services division has fewer procurement opportunities. That's more of kind of what we're delivering in-house right now. Our new arrivals division is providing services for migrants who have recently arrived to Chicago, largely shelter services. Our senior services division provides a wide array of supports for our senior population and their caregivers, including food assistance, caregiving supports, legal services, referral and information, and a lot of that is through our contracted partners. Our workforce services division, again, working through our contracted partners, is delivering workforce training programs to sort of the folks and populations that are struggling the most to find employment. And then our youth services division is providing, again, through contracted partners, youth employment opportunities, both summer and year round, out of school time programming, and then some more targeted programming that's aimed at populations who need a higher level of support in the youth age range. So this is just like our quick, this is not every program that we do, but a quick sense of this, the scope of what we offer the city through our different divisions. So that's DFSS. I want to talk a little bit about the two different types of procurement opportunities that we have. So we have kind of DPS vendor contracts. That might be the kind of thing that you would more often see in this first look series, that we have only a very small number of them for things like facilities management, purchase and maintenance of vision and hearing screening equipment. Those, we have a couple that come up. We'll talk about a couple in our look ahead. But then really the majority of the procurement opportunities that we have are what I'm describing on the right-hand side of the screen. So these are delegate agency contracts rather than vendor contracts. And these are really kind of sub-grantee contracts. And this is the structure that we use to procure for most of the services that I talked about on the previous slide, like our youth out of school time programming. Contractors are all delegate agency. Our homeless outreach and engagement contractors are delegate agencies. Our workforce development contractors are delegate agencies. And so some of the processes are a little bit different between the two different types. And usually we're looking for someone slightly different across these two different types. Alta, is there anything that you wanted to add about our vendor contracts in general?
So sure, I would add that although DFSS does not have a high volume contracts that are DPS related contracts, it is a larger delegate agency department that handles, 8 different divisions. So when we do procure, there is volume in what we look for. For example, when we talk about fitness equipment, we do procure for all of our senior centers that have the, fitness equipment there. And on the delegate agency side, those contracts are every few years, but our procurement contracts run generally along the base term of a few, maybe 3 years, maybe base 5 years. And so when you see those types of opportunities, I would say certainly sign up for DPS alerts. But if this is your area, make sure to mark them because they don't come up as often as perhaps the delegate agency contracts, which is every few years right now.
Thank you. Okay, that's the two different types of procurement opportunities. We're now going to talk about upcoming things, both on that delegate agency side as well as on that DPS vendor contract side. So coming up in the next, I would say 6-ish months, we are going to have our 4 youth employment program RFPs released, which are all slightly different versions of what our youth employment services are. A couple that are summer specific, a couple that are year-round specific, and then a couple that are targeting different age groups. And really our goal there is to find organizations who are able to help us source employment opportunities and then oversee the work of youth doing those when they are in those positions. The second thing that we have coming up is our Legal Protection Fund RFP, which will be seeking to find a provider who is able to provide legal representation for Chicagoans who are immigrants, particularly refugees, undocumented immigrants, and other populations that face more barriers to legal status in the United States. And there will actually be 2 RFPs here, one for legal services and one for outreach and education about these issues. We also have coming up a suite of RFPs for our senior services division that are all kind of primarily related to our caregiving support programming. So there's general caregiving support services. There's an RFP related to older relatives raising children. There's an RFP related to chore services and respite services. And then we also have our aging well navigators, which is not targeted for caregivers, but for seniors themselves. We also anticipate releasing in the next several months our early learning RFP, which is a large RFP through which we are seeking a large number of providers to offer Head Start, early Head Start, preschool for all, and prevention initiative programming for children ages 0 to 5. And then in 2025, likely in spring, the city's CVGA process will kick off, which is a large basket of delegate agency contracts and RFPs. And we will be having, I think, somewhere like 15 to 20 RFPs released through that process from a wide range of our program divisions, from our division on gender-based violence, our homeless services division, our workforce services division, our senior services division, and our human services division. So we're going to be covering a lot, and I expect that to be coming out late spring, early summer 2020. We also have a couple of DPS vendor contracts. Alta, do you want to speak to these? Or, I mean, I'll just say there's purchase and maintenance of vision and hearing screening equipment, which we expect to come out in first quarter 2025. And then there's our fingerprinting and criminal background check services, which we expect to be open for bid first quarter 2025 as well. So those are the two of those DPS, the more traditional vendor contracts that we have upcoming. To stay in touch with us, to hear about our different opportunities, if you're interested in our delegate agency opportunities, there's a link here through the Office of Budget and Management website to sign up for procurement alerts for that delegate agency category, which I'm not sure would come up on the normal DPS alerts notifications. And then on our website, under either our alerts section or our funding opportunity section, we post those as well. These are all available through e-procurement, so that you're applying through the same mechanism. And that's the other place I would point people to look for these opportunities. For DPS contracts, you can obviously find those through the DPS website and sign up through that website for notification around those opportunities. I think that's everything that I have. Oh, one more thing is if you have questions, you can feel free to reach out to me about delegate agency opportunities. Unfortunately, Alta is moving on to bigger and better things. So even though she's here representing kind of our DPS vendor hat today, don't reach out to her in the future, but instead you can reach out to our Deputy Commissioner, Kevin Gibbons. So that's what we have, but very happy to answer any questions. I know that the majority of our procurement opportunities might be a little bit different from the ones that you might have heard about in other First Look series. So we're happy to chat about that or answer anything that's on your mind.
Thank you, Sylvie, and thank you, Alta. Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to put it in the Q&A panel and we'll answer them. I did get some in the chat, and I don't like to get them in the chat because I have to read them first. So let me just say to you both, thank you for sharing the information with our network. And if any of you that are listening on the call and want to ask a question, feel free to put it in the Q&A panel, and then they will be able to answer that. The question, part of the question was that they're asking will this recording be posted? And the answer is yes. I don't know if that person was on earlier, but youtube.com/Chicago DPS and then you can click on 2024 playlist, the DPS workshop playlist, and get this recording. You might want to wait until Friday because I post them all on every Friday so that we get both of the ones that we're doing for the week. This week we're only doing one, but I generally post them on Friday. Alrighty. Let's see. We have a couple in the Q&A panel. That was the end of that one, I should say. I am a commercial printer. Where would I find print service opportunities for DFSS?
Yeah, we don't have any direct contracts for print services, and we do our printing through the city's facility and fleet management department. So
So I would actually say that if there are any of those opportunities, period, I would suggest that you look in the buying plan under uh, facilities, fleet services, and see if it's listed there. You always can go on their website and click on the bid area on their website and see if there's anything that they may have on there as well. And then again, like I said, the procurement symposium, I can't say how beneficial that is, but 2FM, as we call them, which is facilities, fleet services, will be at this event. And that's your opportunity to engage with them and find out directly from the people that work in procurement with them, how they do that, outsource that if they do at all outsource it. That's your way to figure that out. So I would that those would be my suggestions attached to what she's already said. So that would help. Here's another one. Hello, I own a janitorial company. Would there be opportunity for janitorial or custodial services, I guess they said, with your company?
my understanding here is that we also don't release our own procurements for janitorial custodial, and we also operate with a couple of other DFSS partners who have contracts with vendors. Alta, any other nuance there?
No, as Jackie, as you have stated, DFSS, we do a high volume of delegate agency types of procurement, which is different from contracts through the Department of Procurement, where, the city has, and I've probably lost count, maybe up to 30 plus departments who all do various types of procurement. So we're just one of many. And so when you are searching for those types of services, I would cast a wide net, because any of those departments could actually be need to utilize those services. This is just another plug, as Jackie said, to for you to come out to the symposium, because a lot of those departments are represented. You have other sister agencies that may also need printing services. It is definitely a chance to network and try to get the information that you need, and I would not just limit it to the city procurement, because that's an opportunity to meet with a lot of different agencies and see what they have to offer in the service that you provide.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, with that said, I am going to put something in the chat area that gives you more information on where you can go to get information for that. But for the sake of it, it's Chicago. 20, I'll put it in both, 2024 symposium. Let me see, I put it in there, and then I'm gonna put it in the chat panel too, so that you have the information. I put a host of information in there. One, at the very end is about the symposium, but at the top part is where you can find copies of this information that we're giving you for the consolidated buying plan, DPS alerts, and for the symposium. All of those things can help you. There are resources to be able to help you navigate the procurement process. But like I said, 80 exhibitors at the procurement symposium of all different um, uh, sections of government and sections that assist government folks. Um, I just can't say it enough. That is where you will be able to get most of your help, because these are the people that work day to day with contracting opportunities, or people who are trying to look for contracting opportunities. So they are the people that will be able to tell you and help you and move you along with hearing presentations and workshop breakout rooms with folks in there that can give you more information about various topics that we will be covering as well, on certification, compliance, the jock program, on access to capital, all types of things. So I would say that is the place, if it were me, that I would be looking to attend, so I can get it done all under one roof and talk to as many people as I can to move my business or what I'm doing forward. You might want to also do joint ventures with folks. So this is your opportunity to talk to your fellow business owners. Sometimes they have great information of things that they have tried or used or know about or would like to go and partner with, all kinds of things. So it is a great opportunity for you to learn how to do business with government entities, but also talk with people in the space, colleagues, and so on and so forth. So hopefully we'll see you there on September 5th at Malcolm X. Register though first so that you have a smooth sailing going in, and you have your spot reserved to be there. With that said, if there are any additional questions, we'll take them now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I again want to thank Sylvie and Alpha for coming out and uh, speaking with you. And I want to thank our attendees for coming on. Hopefully, we'll see you in the bigger venue September 5th at Malcolm X. I don't see any additional questions, ladies. So, with that said, if you want to say any parting words or tips for them during this space, feel free to go ahead and say that. And then we'll close out and post this on Friday.
I don't think I have much, but thank you so much for joining us today, and definitely feel free to reach out if you have other questions coming up.
I guess I would say knowledge is power. When you have these opportunities to meet with to get this information, whether it be in a workshop like this or a forum such as the symposium, there's a lot of rich information that is given out. And again, a lot of these opportunities come by, you know, depending on how long the procurement is. Sometimes it could be 3 years, 5 years. So that's a long time to be able to, um, you know, bid on an opportunity that's out. So the sooner you get the information pertaining to your procurement, the sooner you'll be on your way to doing business with the city. And so we look forward to you coming out to the symposium to get additional information. And thanks again for attending the webinar today.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful rest of your day. And our attendees do same. And we will see you soon at another one of these sessions. So stay tuned. Have a great, wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.